Today, we're diving deep into something we use every single second, but almost never think about, our own minds. We're going to explore the invisible scripts that run our thinking, these hidden shortcuts our brain takes all the time. So, yeah, let's pull back that curtain.
Let me just start by asking you this. Are you sure you're the one in the driver's seat of your own mind? I mean, it really feels that way, right? We all assume our thoughts are logical, that our decisions are rational. But what if that feeling of control isn't the whole story?
Here's the thing. Our brains are basically efficiency machines. They're getting hit with billions of bits of information every single moment, so they have to take mental shortcuts just to keep up. Now, these are incredibly useful, but they can also lead to some pretty predictable errors in our thinking, and that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with these hidden shortcuts. Then we'll see how they make us see what we want to believe and even how they mess with our memories. After that, we'll see how this all affects our decisions, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. You can think of these mental shortcuts as kind of like predictable glitches in our operating system. And they aren't a sign that your brain is flawed or broken. They're a standard feature in every single human brain. Understanding them is like, well, finally getting the user manual for your own mind.
All right, let's jump into our first, and you could argue, the most powerful bias of them all. This is the one that makes us fall in love with ideas we already have.
And here it is, confirmation bias. The key thing here is that it's not just about looking for information we agree with. It also affects how we interpret stuff that's ambiguous and even how we remember things. Basically, our brain starts acting like a biased lawyer, only looking for evidence to support a conclusion it's already decided on.
And you see this everywhere. We all do it. I mean, think about the news you follow. Does it really challenge your political views? Or does it mostly just tell you you're right? Or how about after you buy something new and you suddenly only read the 5-star reviews to justify your purchase? It even explains why people believe in psychics. Our minds grab onto that one time they got something right and just totally forgets the 9 times they were completely wrong. It creates this false pattern that feels real.
So, if our brain is filtering what we see right now, what's it doing with our past? You know, we tend to think of memory as this perfect, faithful recording. But the science? It shows something way weirder. And honestly, a lot more creative is going on.
This slide really nails it. We feel like we're hitting play on a video file in our head. But what's actually happening is that every single time we remember something, we are rebuilding that memory from scratch. We're telling ourselves a story, and every time we tell it, it can change just a little bit based on our mood, our new beliefs, or even what someone else says to us.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? An imaginative reconstruction. That means our memories aren't pure data. They are stories. And we all know stories can change in the telling. This has huge implications for everything from eyewitness testimony in a courtroom to just, our own life stories.
Okay, so we're filtering new information, and we're creatively rebuilding our memories. So how does all of this come together when we actually have to, make a choice about something?
It's a really important question, right? Because these biases aren't just sitting in the background. They are active players in our decision-making, and most of the time, we don't even know they're there. They're like an invisible hand guiding what we think are our own rational choices.
This little flowchart here shows you exactly how it works. First, you face a choice. Instantly, your brain looks for the easiest path forward. Then, confirmation bias jumps in, filtering all the evidence to support whatever your gut is telling you. Your memories, which we now know are kind of shaky, color the options. So by the time you make what feels like a totally logical decision, the information you used to make it was already bent and shaped by these invisible forces.
I know, this can all sound a little depressing, like we're just puppets of our own minds. But there is a way forward, and it all starts with a simple idea. Thinking about your thinking.
And listen, this is probably the most important takeaway of all. You cannot just turn these biases off. It's impossible. They're hardwired into our brains. So the goal isn't to become some kind of perfectly rational robot. The real, achievable goal is just to become aware of them, to notice when they might be nudging you, and to just pause before you jump to a conclusion.
So, let's wrap this all up. What are the big things to remember? First, just accept it. Your thinking is not as objective as you think it is. Second, get a little skeptical, especially of information that perfectly confirms what you already believe. Third, treat your strongest, most vivid memories with a little healthy doubt. Remember, they're stories, not videos. And finally, the big one, awareness is always the first and most powerful step toward thinking more clearly.
And that leaves us with one final thought. You've now had a little peek behind the curtain of your mind's operating system. You know about the shortcuts, the filters, the storytelling.
So the real question is, what's that one strongly held belief, or that one cherished memory, or that big decision coming up that you're going to look at just a little bit differently now? What will you question first?